Sige,
Dun,
lagyan ko
dun,
na rin ng konting intro.
dun.
Tutututun!
Mas
Okay.
kita nakulitan. Dun, dun.
Eto na!
Let's go! Let's talk
This is
about...
gonna be a really fun episode. Because apart from we're talking about our periods, we're on our periods. Meant to be. I love it. Okay,
I
alright.
was
So,
so
hi
emotional
everyone!
today. Oh, sorry.
What? You're emotional.
I'll let
Okay
you do
lang.
that again. I'll let you do that again. Sorry. Ang gulo!
Okay, ito na. Takip talaga ng bibig. Welcome to another episode of After 30 with Kara Eriguel. Hello, everyone. We have a special guest with us today. Let's talk about our periods. For most of us, I really do know that some women, actually, you know what? Some women don't even feel Tita Flo coming at all. Screw them.
What?
But for most of us,
Who are these blessed beings?
I know a few women who are like, oh, I have my period. Oh, well. Screw you. Anyway, for most of us, like this guest I have today, our periods can make us feel very uncomfortable. Apart from the physical pain, the mood swings, the raging hormones, there's the mess and the waste and the amount of money we spend each month for sanitary napkins and tampons and such, diba? Honestly, I really just wanted to explore this menstrual cups for as babaw a reason as I'll be living by the sea pretty soon and ang hassle sa dagat pag may period. Yun lang talaga. The first reason, right? And that's when I thought of using a cup.
Yes.
That's when the thought of using a cup entered my mind. I didn't know it would be completely life-changing. Wow, maka-life-changing second day ko pa lang. But so we're gonna and I really want to talk about this.
It's
I
really
really
true,
want to
though.
talk about this. And I want to keep convincing myself that making the switch is one of the best decisions of my life. And we're going to talk to someone who has been using it for quite some time. She's the first person I called as soon as I put this cup in my vajay. And she's been walking me through it with grace and honesty. She will try to answer some of the most common questions that women ask about menstrual cups. And we will be talking about her and my very little experience as well. This is something we definitely need to talk about now. In this episode, we have MJ Flan!
Hello! Thank you for having me on your lovely, lovely podcast, Miss
Thank
Kara
you.
Eriguel-Rabat.
Well,
I still have I really enjoy adding that Rabat to your last name now. Besides the fact that I know you're super happily married, it just like rolls off the tongue. Kara Eriguel
it
Rabat.
does, huh? Rabat.
Yes.
Kaming
Hi,
R
Pao.
nung pangalan ko.
Gusto ko yung may
Hi, Pao.
rrr talaga. So yay! Thanks for having me,
Arr.
Kara.
Thank you for agreeing to do this. I know this was kind of like biglaan, but I feel like it was meant to be. It was meant to happen.
I know,
and at a perfect time. Please share why.
It's so funny. So Kara, for the past few days, has been calling me, vibrating me like, Mom, how do I do this? Am I doing this right? Why is it like this, like that? So I've been talking to her about it, and she was like, Mom, I want to put this on the podcast because it might help so many people going through the same things. Like, sure, game, let's do it. And then on the day it was scheduled, today I woke up and got my period too. So it's like, huh. Sabi ko nga kay Kara kanina. I know, Tita Flo was like, you talking about me? Well, here I am. Here she is.
I am.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
Ayan
use
na.
the cup. So I did.
Sumakto
And-
siya.
Yeah.
Okay, edi perfect. Diba? Very, very fresh yung experience mo of using it. Diba? And mine too, because it is my second day. Proud to say. Wait, third na pala. Oh my gosh. Third day ko na, Mom.
I'm so proud of you.
Proud to
Compared
say
to the
I've
first day.
successfully inserted it and taken it out for 3 days.
Congratulations. I assume you're more comfortable with it now. Like you're used to the feeling of it being there a little bit more than the first few days.
Of it being there, yes. Hello.
I'm so
It's
sorry.
okay. Hi,
My
Kiwi.
dog is an attention whore. It's cute. He just jumped on my lap. I'm sorry.
Sanay ka pala nung jumping siya. Sorry, grabe. Proud na proud pa naman ako nag-jump si Pugsley sa chair. Sanay na sanay ka na pala kay Kiwi. Hello,
Yeah,
Bibi.
But he does it when I don't ask him to.
Ay, sus.
He's just so
He just
clingy.
wants
Okay,
to be a
you guys.
part of this. Hi.
Okay. Tell them about the
Hi.
menstrual cups.
Hello. Kiss siya eh.
Okay.
Ang
Okay,
cute,
please.
grabe.
Let Mama talk to her friend. Let Mama. Okay. Let's see if he can behave on my lap. Sorry for the interruption.
No worries. I'm sure he will.
Let me know if his panting is like distracting you.
That's fine. It'll be background sound as we're talking about menstrual cups. All right, okay.
Okay.
So I was before kailan ko ba? Like it's been a month since
Mm-hmm.
I bought this menstrual cup last month pa for my period last month. But I was unsuccessful. Last month. Ma'am, I really tried. And it has a lot to do pala talaga with psyche and it says so much parang kasi
Mm-hmm.
napatawag ako sa asawa ko, babe. Sobrang medyo TMI pero you know what? Getting to know my vagina even more.
I think that's the best part. That's the best part about it. It's like you have to put yourself in this mindset to even be able to put it inside you and comprehend and just like wrap your head around the concept that there's something inside you for the entire day. And that can be terrifying, but like a lot of people say, life changing.
Can I just say, the first night that I used it, hindi ako nakatulog.
Mm.
I had
Oh
I
my
had 2
gosh.
hours sleep, promise. And I thought it was like, is it because I had coffee or is it because this I was really thinking about it. I'm like, oh, it's probably because of the anxiety of, and I
Mm-hmm.
checked it siguro mga 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay pa ba siya? Okay pa ba? Andun pa ba siya? Baka biglang lumabas pag naubo ako in my sleep. All these questions. Okay, let's try to answer them. Okay, first question for you,
All
MJ.
right.
How and where did you even find out about menstrual cups? And what made you decide to make the switch?
Okay. Okay, I just want to be clear that I am not an expert. I've just been using it for around 3 years. I'm not selling it, so I don't know every in and out of using a menstrual cup, but this is just coming from my personal experience of using it. So to
Yeah.
answer your question, I just heard about menstrual cups I think around 2013 or 2014 when as in it was
Tagal
super
pala.
the concept was super foreign to me. And when my friend said, "Hey, did you know that there's something called a menstrual cup where you just it's like a silicone cup, you put it inside you and then it just like gathers all your blood for your period." And my first reaction was like, "Ew, like why?" Like why? It's like a cup.
Why?
It's something foreign, just and for me kasi I've never used tampons. So even just the
Oh.
never. Probably just one very unsuccessful time at the beach and it was horrific. It was a mess. So it's like, oh no, I don't want to. So yeah, and that was the time I heard about it from an office mate. And it was great because the environment was so comfortable. We were just talking about it. We were asking questions like, how does it work? Like, is it sanitary? Is it safe? And it really helped that I was in an environment of mostly women. So we were comfortable
Mhm.
talking about it. Like, even if it was so foreign to most of us. So we kept asking this other office mate who told us about it. So parang dun ko na unang naisip yung parang, okay, that sounds like very interesting but still really scary for me personally
Yeah.
as a pad user for 20 plus years. Hindi naman 20,
Yeah.
syempre hindi naman well, 20-ish years na siguro at that point. Yeah. No. Less than 20. Anyway, that's not important.
Uh,
Anyway, um the important part was
uh,
when another group of female friends, we also ended up talking about menstrual cups probably around 2018, 2017.
mm-mm.
And one friend finally took the leap after we've been talking about it for so long. One was like, okay, nag-order na ako online. I'll tell you guys how it goes. So it's like, oh my gosh, somebody's gonna try it. And I really think
uh,
that's what converts a lot of women when some of their friends have already tried it. They have someone to actually talk to and walk you through the experience because you really go through such a sobrang hassle talaga ng period every month. Like, so I'm sure women listening
yep.
to this can totally relate. Like, changing your pad or your tampon every few hours, the discomfort it gives you, and even just having to buy every single month, go to the grocery store, get whatever you need. And especially for tampon users, pa ang hirap makahanap ng magandang tampon in like most supermarkets out there.
Yeah.
So,
Ma'am, yun yung naging problem ko sa Mati. Sorry, side note lang
mhm.
Swear talaga,
Yeah.
doon ko siya naiisip Kasi, ah, ah, saan ako bibili ng tampon doon, ma'am? I mean,
Mm-mm.
sa Davao meron. But like in
Mm-mm.
Mati, ilan lang ang meron. So, yun lang. It's hard to find tampons, especially if you really
Yeah,
need it. Okay, go ahead.
yeah, it really is. And especially that menstrual cups aren't really advertised. Like when you watch TV, you can see in the media what feminine products are being sold, usually pads lang. Not even tampons, which are more available than menstrual cups. So sobrang
Yeah.
the concept is so scary. But when you actually have a friend who's gone through it to actually tell you themselves how they experienced it, how menstrual cups have made their experiences so much easier, it makes you more comfortable. Like, okay, my friend's using this and she's fine. She says she loves it.
Yeah.
So at least when you try it, even if it's pretty scary and it's such a process. You know, you have to sanitize it, you have to clean it, you have to learn certain folds, but at least knowing somebody that you can talk to about it just
Mm-hmm.
really helped. So when my friend finally took the leap, she nakakatawa pa nga she ordered it online, she got it on her doorstep. She showed the picture, parang ito na siya. Ito yung ipapasok ko. So it's like she gave us like a daily experience. She told
Wow.
us like, okay, this is day one. It feels weird, but I got through it. Day two, blah blah blah. So she just really gave us a blow by blow because we wanted to learn. Also, we were very curious. So that
How
convinced me
lucky.
when she said that she's used to it, and she told me how not really convenient, but at least it's
Life-changing in a lot of
yes,
ways.
we're gonna be dropping life changing a lot, probably, but because it's just really convenient how you don't have to worry about putting it to waste. Like, just
Yeah,
imagine
yeah.
how many tampons and pads you have to throw away within one period, and like how many times you change. It's just it
And how
is,
many
and you
tampons
can
and
go
pads are now
swimming.
sitting in the ocean, right?
Exactly. I think
Because
that's
uh,
one reason also that helped convince me, because that group of friends that I thought I would talk to, we were all just also thinking about ways to be more responsible environment wise, to lessen our carbon
yeah.
footprint of some sort. So nakaka-guilty din kasi kung isipin mo how many pads and tampons you just throw away. Like at the end of your
Yeah.
period, when you take out the trash, you can see punong-puno yung garbage mo. Just that. Right?
Exactly. Exactly. I've yet to experience, I mean, more of this, but you're so right. And thank you for pointing it out kanina. No? You're not an expert. We're no experts here, but
Mm.
the fact that, and I love that you said it did so much for you that, you had a friend who talked to you about it,
Mm.
who experienced it, who gave you a blow by blow, diba, na every day talaga. And that's what we want to do right now. I guess also why I wanted to talk about it talaga, like agad-agad na. Because, like, agad talaga, ma'am, hindi yung schedule tayo next week. Talaga, ma'am, ready ka bukas? Mag-record na tayo. Kasi it's like, gosh, like, I want you guys to know how amazing this is. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's not for everyone. We don't
It's not.
sell
It's
it.
not.
We're not
Mm.
experts. Wala
We're
tayong
not
kikitain
forcing
dito.
you. We're not
We're just
forcing you because
sharing the
it really does.
experience.
Yeah, it really does take a lot out of you. Just yung first few times, maybe traumatizing. Hindi naman super traumatizing, but it's difficult. It really is. It takes
It
a lot of
is.
getting used to, especially for a person like me who came from pads all their life.
Especially nga if you've never used tampons before. Kasi nga,
Mm-hmm.
foreign sa'yo yung having to put something foreign inside. And not just that. Let's talk about putting your fingers inside.
Yes.
Diba? And
That's
that's,
what that's one thing I learned the hard way. Na parang, do I have to? Yes, I do. How do I get it
you have
out?
to guide it
Yeah.
in.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Kasi si tampon, diba, there's a plastic tube that you put in which
Mm-hmm.
helps you kind of leave the thing inside, right? So you don't really need to like open it up and put the tampon inside. Ito, ma'am, talaga. That's why nga, the first time when I got it last month, I tried, oh my God talaga. Hanggang sa, sorry, medyo TMI, pero medyo sumakit na siya yung, ba't ayaw pumasok? ibang pumasok. Bakit ayaw mo pumasok? Hindi ko maintindihan. Like, it's like really... So, di ba I was describing the sound to you? Parang, sabi talaga nung vagina ko, no! No, ano yan?
What is that? I don't want it!
Blue! Should have gotten the pink one. But anyway, okay. So, please tell us about your experience naman, the first time that you used it. Did you have fears and doubts at all?
God.
Was it painful?
Oh my God, I took so long in the banyo. Na-late ako sa work dahil doon. As in, my time spent inside the bathroom felt like hours, when honestly, I think it was only 30 or 40 minutes, but it just felt like so long kasi ayaw din talaga niya pumasok for me. So, I think it has something to do with being scared because it's your first time. So, yun din talaga your pempem goes, nope, nope, don't want it. So, I've sobrang girl talk ng episode na to. We're gonna say vagina. We're gonna be saying, I don't know.
I mean, let's
punani
talk about
a lot.
it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
If
it's
you
important
have it,
to talk about.
I mean, come on.
No,
Even if you
we all
don't,
have it.
si Pao, because nga I'm so open to my husband, sorry. Buti na lang din medyo open din naman siya. Kaya lang may mga times na nahaharas na rin siya sa akin. Babe, did you know, like, I use the menstrual... Kasi kanino ko ba ikukwento, di ba? Apart from you, siya lang naman lagi ko nakakausap. It's like, babe, I love you, but you don't need to tell me all the details. Okay, so what was your experience like?
It was so hard. Well, as in, I tried so many different folds. I had like my phone in front of me. I was looking through YouTube or like many different tutorials. As in, ang dami ko nang pinagdaanan na tutorials, pero bakit ayaw pa rin? What's wrong with me? So I tried this, whatever fold they would tell me. And then I eventually got to a certain fold, and then parang nag-relax. At some point, napagod na ako. Alam mo yung parang, you've been trying so hard na parang, ayaw niya gumana. And then I was getting so over it. I was so ready to grab a pad na and just give up. But then I think that's when I finally relaxed. Yung parang, tangin na, ito na. Sorry, can I swear?
Yeah. Hello, we've been saying vagina for like 15 minutes now. Yes, you can swear.
So, I think it was that point na parang, tangin na, pagod na ako. No ba yan? Ayoko na. Last na to. Promise, last na to. Malilate na ako. So, ayun, when I finally ended up with the right fold, and when I was sort of at the verge of giving up, I was like, okay, fine, let's do this. Yun na, pumasok na siya. I was like, oh. I think it just needed me to relax a little bit more, because when I was trying so hard, overthinking it, exactly. So when I finally was like, okay, whatever, sige, let's just go with it. If it doesn't work, I'll just get a pad. Yun, pumasok na siya.
Totoo, no? Number one pala talaga yung, so if you're, okay, number one tip, if you're thinking of making the switch, actually no, pag nakabili ka na, and when you're putting it in for the first time, it's really psyching, mas matagal siguro yung psyching yourself. For me, it took me a month, di ba? To psych myself. Di ba? Okay, lalagay ko na to sa loob, eto na, I'm making this decision. And then it also took me hours to put it inside. The first time I tried. But the other day, I was telling you, diba, surprisingly, napasok ko siya because I was just like, you know what? And I didn't buy tampons for this month. Just so, and I hate wearing pads. So parang, girl, wala kang choice. Hindi ka pa nakakalabas ng bahay, diba? Mag-iisang buwan na lalabas ka para bumili ng tampons. Hindi, ito, hawak mo na. Diba? So, mag-relax
Make
tayo.
it work.
Relax. Ganon. Tapos, you're right. When I was just like, I'm about to fold. It's in.
You know what? Let's just like get in there.
Diba? Pero nung una talaga, ma'am, nakailang, ano bang race ng legs ang kailangan kong gawin?
Actually, isa pa yun. You realize how much of a contortionist you have to be to finally figure it out. Like, you try squatting, you try raising a leg up on like whatever sink or counter you have. But yun din yun eh. It's not just putting it in. It's like spreading yourself the right way to be able to comfortably put it in. So, ang dami. Ang dami mo talagang iisipin.
this is how I convinced myself that it's not, that I still am convincing myself because it's still hard. I'm only on my third day.
Mm-hmm.
And merong mga moments na gumaganon pa rin siya, di ba? But like,
Mm-hmm.
hello. Think if if you've had sex and if you're
Yeah.
sexually active, right? And you're listening right now, nakailang posisyon ka naman na. 'Di ba? I mean, if you're lalo na kung if you're adventurous, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. There's a foreign thing going in there. If you've done it
Mm-hmm.
standing up, lying down, cross leg, whatever, mapapasok mo to. 'Di ba? It's really just a
Exactly.
matter of wanting to put it in
Mm-hmm. Kaya nga,
and being
super mindset
psychologically
lang siya
ready.
eh. Yeah. And I remember messaging you last month. You also messaged me last month saying that, Ma'am, hirap na ako. Natapos na period ko at lahat. Hindi ko pa siya nagagawa successfully. So, I was like, as
Yes.
graphic as this may sound, it's like, Ma'am, isipin mo na lang titi yan. Baka mas madali siyang mo. Kasi, kung gano'n naman talaga, ang dami na, marami namang times na, you just have to think, it's all in my head. Just let me think that
Yes.
this is something that has been inside me, and I'll be fine. I'm
But
so
you know,
sorry.
and it is so true that in the 3 days that I have, tried, I mean, and I have been using it, ang dami ko natutunan about myself and my vagina. I swear
Mm-hmm.
talaga. 'Di ba? Parang, and it really says so much about our bodies and our minds and how completely connected it is, 'di ba? It's not, guys,
Yep.
okay? Kung may nakikinig man na lalaki, ang laking bagay ng foreplay. Okay? Sorry, let's
Yes.
talk about it. Let's talk about it
Yeah.
because it does so much, diba, for your muscles.
Mm-mm.
And it's a muscle for your
Exactly.
vagina to let loose and just because a girl is wet doesn't mean she's
Mm-hmm.
ready for you to, diba? Ganun pala.
Yep.
And water
Mm-hmm.
is not lubricant.
Nope. Nope. This I also learned from your episode, from your last one, with Madame Pleasure Place.
Madam
Yes,
Pleasure Place, Eleanor,
you
yeah.
learned you learn so much about yourself, and it was also we also had this interesting conversation how you told me that yours doesn't yours doesn't feel like it fits as well as because all have different bodies. Some vaginas
Yeah.
may be deeper, some may
Yeah.
be a little bit more shallow, so it really varies between every woman, every experience. So parang for you, baka mas mahirap siyang ipasok. For others, baka mas mahirap siya ilabas. Parang ganon. It's gonna be so different
Mm.
for every other woman. So it's really important to have a friend to talk to about it.
Yeah, and it's a journey pala talaga, no? Like the videos
Super.
I've been watching, even women who've been using it for years, who are even people who are selling it, diba? And the way they're
Mm-mm.
talking about it, okay, guys, it's really life changing. But until now, I'm still learning, diba? And
Mm-mm.
it's good that
Me
they're also
too.
very honest about it. It's not easy,
It's
but it's
not.
worth
Even
it.
it is. Like even me 3 years into using it, I still find new ways or like, oh, maybe this is a better way to sterilize it or to clean it or to take it out and in. It really takes a lot of practice because it's not just
Mm-mm.
something you put in, throw away like a pad or a tampon. Sobrang learning experience because you have to maintain it. You have
Yeah.
to take care of it too. So
So
it's not
okay,
just
how
some.
do before we get take to taking care of it, how
Mhm.
do you put the thing in? How do you put the damn thing in?
First, relax. It's not gonna
Okay.
kill you. So don't be too afraid. Oh my gosh, Kiwi. Sorry.
He says,
Nakakarga na
it's
naman siya.
okay. Come, let's join us.
Oh, come. Let's talk about vaginas, Kiwi. Okay. You don't have one, but it's okay. You have to
He's
learn,
a
okay?
kiwi boy. No, but like I was
So,
saying nga kanina off the record, since we're talking about this na rin, no, it might be harder for some women, easier for some. And even for me pala, because when I was asking MJ about it yesterday, sabi niya siya, she has to put it all the way in. Tapos ako
mm-hmm.
parang, why is it uncomfortable? Because it feels like it's so low that if I laugh or cough, it'll just pop out because
Mm-hmm.
it's low. And I
Uh-uh.
was researching, yung pala, and I remembered, oh, I have a retroverted uterus. I have a uterus that faces the other way.
Ooh.
It's tilted. So, pag ganun pala, and some women don't even know it until they're pregnant or
Mm-hmm.
magpa-ultrasound sila, 'di ba? Some doctors won't even tell you unless kasi nga it's not naman dangerous. It's just
Yeah.
you're just wired differently in that way. But yun nga, when it comes to the cup, your cup will have to sit lower than
Mm-mm.
usual because of the
Yeah.
tilted uterus. So how do you put
Yeah.
it in?
Me. I just skip to get graphic. So first of all, you have to clean it. Okay, you have to sterilize it. So it's very important. Like before you use it and after you're done, you sterilize it. Put it in boiling water for a few minutes, then let it cool. And once it's cool and you can pat it dry with a clean. I use a clean paper towel, so it's at least hindi siya
Walang
towel na
fibers.
nagamit ko na. Yeah, yeah.
Wait, do you
So
boil it? Do you put it in like a pot while it's boiling, or do you put it in boiling hot water and leave it there?
I actually bought a sterilizer online. There are menstrual cup sterilizers out there because here's another
Okay.
concern for some people, medyo nakakahiya siya dalhin sa kitchen. Alam mo yun? Because like it's a very personal product, and you might not have the convenience of living alone and boiling it in the stove in the privacy of your own space. But then some other people might
Yeah.
live with you. They might freak out knowing that you're boiling something that you put in your vagina. But even if it's safe naman, alam mo yun? But it's such a personal product to bring to
Yeah.
such a public space. So you have the
Okay.
option of like what I did. I bought a sterilizer. It kind of you just put the water inside and you put the cup inside and it steams it.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so
Oh,
that has
cool.
made the experience much easier for me because I can keep it in the bathroom. Parang may
Can you bring it with
privacy
you
ako
when you
dun sa
travel?
bathroom niya.
Is it small enough to like put in?
It's like this big. I
Can
mean,
you
you
fold it,
can
or it's
pack
just?
it.
Ah, okay,
It's
okay.
actually it has a cover. Let me show you. Should I show you? My video naman to, no? So I'll just get it real
Sure.
quick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Okay.
can show you.
Ooh,
Here, excuse me.
cool. So may pa-sterilizer pala. How interesting. So it's I guess really very important, to know about these things. And I'm very grateful to have MJ here to talk about this because nga, like a lot of my friends don't even know about it.
Here.
Surprisingly, ang dami kong friends. Oh, how cool! Oh, it looks like a diffuser.
Yeah, it does. So you
You
put
put it
ay may
in.
tubig pa. So you put water in
Okay.
here, you put your menstrual cup and then you just close it and it steams up. So it
Oh, do you
cleans
put
it na.
soap or something?
No, just water. So if
Oh.
you want, you can wash it with the menstrual cup wash. So as
Mm-hmm.
long as you use mild unscented soap with it, that's a way to clean it. And also, yeah, it depends on you. You can just use this and it's safe and just let it cool before you put it in because of course mainit siya. It's like ow. Thankfully not from
Yeah,
personal experience,
yeah.
but yeah, there
Aminin. The joke lang. Okay.
well, yung nangyari, I held it while it was still hot. I dropped it, so I had to steam it again.
Wait, can I just
Bloopers.
say, ano sabi ko sa'yo kahapon, this was like on the fourth time that I took it out and put it in. It popped and it flew. Like it went poop. Oh my god. Kalilinis ko lang. I was like trying to put it in, and then because nga it's silicone and mine is a bit hard. Iba-iba siya eh, di ba? Mine is
Mm-hmm.
a bit thick and thick and hard. My
Oh.
cup is thick and hard. So parang nabitawan ko siya or dumulas siguro. So nag-pop tas nalaglag siya sa floor. So sterilize ko lang siya ulit. But
Yeah.
okay, so what are these folds that you're talking about? Because like it can get really intimidating the first time you see it,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
it's big.
It is. Parang, di ba, pag tignan mo lang siya na parang, paano ko ito ipapasok? Ang
Tsaka
laki-laki nito.
bilog.
Yes,
'Diba? Eh, yung
exactly.
tampon kasi patulis. So you're like, it makes sense, right? It's a tube.
Yeah.
It goes straight in. This one,
Yeah.
it's like it has a mouth and it's like, huh? How? So how? What are these folds?
So, sanay tayo na medyo mas phallic yung shapes ng pinapasok natin doon, ano? So, what you do is, so you end up, there are many different folds that they can show you online, and
Okay.
it's a matter of figuring out which one is easiest for you, because we all have different shaped vaginas. And,
Mm-hmm.
so it's a matter of finding the right fold. I'm not saying that one fold works one better than the other, because like I also
Mm-hmm.
know some friends na mas okay sa kanila yung Z fold, some yung 7 fold, yung parang ganon. For me, it's the
Mm.
seven fold. So you fold it in a way that's it's easier to put inside. So at least hindi siya yung parang hindi siya yung parang big suction na ganun mo ipapasok. You have to fold it, and once you've kind of gotten it in, it will ploop. Ang weird ng sound
Yeah.
effects. It will, once it's inside properly, it will revert back to its original shape for it to catch all the blood that is about
It's
to come
actually
out
pretty
of you.
cool.
It
It's
is.
pretty
So
cool.
kaya
Because
pala
I did hear
silicone
a pop.
siya. Yeah.
Para nga ma-take niya yung form inside and mag-ano
Mm-mm.
siya. Gusto mo yung ginagawa
Yeah.
kong action. Well, makikita naman nila sa video. Plop, parang
Very
gano'n.
visual siya. Sorry, hindi ko mapakita yung folds kasi ginagamit ko siya ngayon eh.
Okay lang.
kasi, kasi naman, if I didn't have my period right now, I would probably want to show you like different folds I try. But no eh. Sorry.
Same, we're both
Dumating
using
si
it
Tita
right
Flo,
now.
eh. So at least first
Okay
hand
lang.
experience yung naririnig nyo, guys.
Oo naman. No, but yeah, so I'm hindi ko alam pa yung mga name ng mga folds, but I just, I fold it however I think I'm gonna be able to put it in. But a very, very important thing to consider is that you're going to have to put your fingers in, guys. And you might have to
Yes.
use there's a big chance you might have to use your other hand to kind of, diba, to support
Open
you.
your lips.
To
Yeah.
open your lips. Because you diba? And it
Yeah.
can get a little bit you really need a lot of psyching up, because especially if
Yup.
you're not used to touching yourself,
Mm-mm.
not in that way that that when you hear that term, touching yourself, whatever, but hello, you wash yourself. Hindi ba kayo
Yeah.
naghuhugas naman tayo? It's just the thinking, diba, the thought of putting it in, which is, I mean, it's, you've probably allowed other people to do that. Why can't we do it? It's our own vaginas.
Exactly. It's more important. And it's not just a matter of using that for just sexual purposes, because of course it's part of your own reproductive health to know how you can take care of your own vagina, and it's part, touching it is part of it. Like whatever way
Exactly.
you need to open your lips to clean or put your menstrual cup in or whatever menstrual products you need, because I assume ginagawa nyo din yun for tampons, diba? Kind of. So,
Wait,
or
si
not.
tampon lang kasi ganun nga lang eh. Plup, ganun lang siya. Like, I don't really need to put it. Ito
Yeah.
talaga, nagulat din ako nung una, parang I was like, okay, so it's folded. Okay, so I put it in. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, so I need to put my whole, ganon, I need to put it, I need to guide it in. You're gonna, diba? There's a point, you're gonna have to guide it in, but to make sure, sometimes kasi diba, it's folded, you put it in. If your muscles are tight, then hindi siya gaganon agad. So baka kailangan mo pa siyang iikot for it to take that form. So you're gonna have to be comfortable with putting 2, 3, maybe your whole hand, ikaw bahala, but like, whatever is comfortable for you, you're gonna have to put it in to support it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. And please make sure your fingernails are short. That is one thing I learned the hard way in one of my first few months. Like, putting it in wasn't that much of a problem. Pero nung tatanggalin ko na siya, parang, aray, wait lang. Shit, mahaba yung nails ko. Kaya pala ang sakit. So, oops, sorry, my window. But yeah, that was another thing. It's like, oo nga, just to hurt myself less, I'm gonna keep my nails short. Especially when you have to take it out, because you do have to put your fingers inside you at some point.
Yeah. I mean, every time, especially when you're taking it out, you can't just pull it out using the thing that's protruding, diba, when you put it in, the stem. Kasi it's suction, diba? When it goes in, that's the reason why it doesn't just pop out when you laugh or cough, diba?
Yeah.
So there's a suction, so you can't just pull it out because it's gonna be really painful.
Yes. So what you have to do is, especially if for women who have a deeper set vaginas and you know more space to put it in, especially for me, like taking it out actually was the most difficult part when I was starting out, because putting it in became easier, but then yung dinedread ko talaga before when I was starting was taking it out. Kasi for me, it's all in. Like, literally everything is in, even the stem. So
Oh.
for some women kasi they even have to cut the stem kasi masyado siyang mahaba or it doesn't go all the way in. But for me kasi it goes all the way in. So
What?
at, as in kailangan ko siyang hanapin talaga. Kaya doon ako
Wala,
na freak out.
magpapanik ako.
But this is for me, but I'm used to it na. But for
Yeah,
me how
yeah.
I take it out, alam mo yung how you make ire when you poop?
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
helps also. Or maybe yeah, I guess that's how you kind of like help push it out of you. But every
Mm-hmm.
time I have to remove it, I really have to put my fingers in talaga to look for the stem. And when I find the stem, iniunti-unti ko siyang ilabas. So I can finally put more like two of my fingers in and break the suction. That's one thing you have
Yeah.
to do, 'di ba? Kasi nga nakabukas na siya. So you break the suction by like pinching the bottom to make it easier to pull out kasi hindi na siya naka-vacuum eh. Once you fold it, mas
Yeah.
madali na siyang ilabas.
Ilabas. Tapos you kind
Yeah.
of have to angle it pa rin pala, no? Even when you're taking it out. Apart from, of course, because
Mm-mm.
there's blood inside.
Yep.
Because also the mouth of it is a bit thicker than the rest of the body.
Yeah.
It might hurt taking it out nga.
Yeah.
'Diba? Because nga makapal siya. But okay, before we get there, because we're definitely gonna be talking about taking it out. Are you supposed to feel it inside? And how do you know it's not gonna pop out or that the blood won't leak? First,
Well,
are you supposed to feel it inside?
I'm not sure kung sanay na ako, but I don't feel it anymore. And I
Mhm.
think that's a good sign because it's a
Mhm.
sign of comfort. And a lot of times now these days, sometimes I forget I have my period because I don't feel it. I just know it's there, but
Oh.
then I don't feel it. Kaya siguro nung times na medyo nasasanay na ako, I know how to put it in, I know how to pull it out. But then it's like, when I have to check if it's there, it's like, is it even there? Because I don't
Oh
feel it.
no.
So it's
Oh
like, check
wow.
ko, nandiyan pa naman. Okay, okay, sure. How many hours has it been? Oh, okay, sige, I guess I can still leave it in. Parang ganun. So, that, I feel like you know how it's so hard not to get graphic with it sorry.
Go.
Okay, so, you just get used to it for the first few months siguro. Parang ang weird ng feeling. Maybe you're probably feeling this too. Like, you just know that there's
Yeah.
something inside you. It's not necessarily uncomfortable or it's not painful because it shouldn't be painful.
Yeah, yeah.
It shouldn't be hurting you in any way. So, you just know that there's something in there. So, if you're uncomfortable, you can check if it's there from time to time, but then it's something you just get used to. And me, 3 years in, sometimes I even forget I have my period. I just check the time, like, ilang oras na ba? Because you can have it in, apparently, for around 10 to 12 hours. That's, their,
Wow.
that,
Yeah.
actually, it really
That's their
depends on
claim.
how, yeah, that's
Heavy
how they claim.
your period
Yeah.
is.
It depends how heavy your period is. So it's also a very personal experience of gauging like how much blood you produce after a couple
Mm-hmm.
of hours. So it's up to you. But for me, umaabot naman nga siya ng 10. Pushing it na yung 12. I try to keep it like not more than 10. Or if I change it as much as I can para lang sure. And hindi pa naman siya napupuno by the time like maybe hour 8. Because you're surprised also eh. Parang hindi pala siya ganun kadami. When you use a pad, it looks like super dami niyang blood. But then,
Because
when you
it's
take it
spread
out from
out.
the cup
Ugh.
and it's just there, parang, it's not that much. Interesting.
And it's really,
So,
really red. It's not like the bright
it
red that you
is.
see in movies and everything. And sometimes like it's
No.
really a deep, dark
Yeah,
red. And if you're afraid of
exactly.
blood, maybe
Good luck.
think this through. But like,
But then it's your blood.
yeah,
So it's,
yeah,
it's yours. It's
yeah.
produced from your own body. It's fine. It's
So you're
something you
really,
shouldn't
and
be
it's
afraid of.
amazing. You're really not supposed to feel it pala inside talaga. I guess yun nga, I was telling you yesterday, diba? Maybe what
Mm.
I'm feeling is the thing, the stem,
The
because
stem.
nga
Yeah.
mine is the whole stem is out for me. So
Mm.
yeah,
I see. Yeah, that's so interesting that how we just have different bodies talaga. Because mine's
yeah,
inside. It fits in. And
cool,
actually for me personally, I know it's not in right when I can feel something. So,
right?
kunyari, if I can feel like parang, medyo may tumutusok ng konti, which is the stem, maybe I have it at the wrong angle, so I have to fix it. Parang ganun siya for me. So when I don't feel it, I feel like it's in right. Tama
So
ba
how do you know
yun?
if it's at a wrong angle? Like for me, I was thinking yesterday, like I was really trying to push it in deeper because when you said
Mhm.
yours nga was like super in. So I was trying to push it in, but ayun na niya, girl. Andito na, okay, nakaupo na ako. Okay na ako dito. Parang yung sinasabi nung ka, ano pa? Ano pang gusto mo?
Hanggang dito na lang ako. Well, actually,
And how
I've
did,
actually
okay,
also
mine also leaked yesterday a little bit. Not like,
Okay.
and I found out when I, like after, so you pee and then you wipe, right? And so, oh, why is there a little bit, it's not supposed to do that, right? So I just adjusted it a little bit. Maybe it
Mhm.
was, baka nga may
Yeah.
angulo rin talagang tama
Mm-mm.
at mali. Okay.
Yeah, may angle din talaga siya. Like, it's interesting you say that because I also had a friend who consulted with me when she got her first menstrual cup. And I think she had the same problem na nakalabas talaga yung stem. Like, hindi niya din mapasok all the way in. Sabi niya, this is as far as it goes. So, is it
Mm-hmm.
okay if I cut the stem na lang? Because it's making me uncomfortable. Like, it's the
Yeah.
stem that's making her uncomfortable because it's like, poking through her lips and everything. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
and
I think
it moves.
yeah. So a bunch of women have also said that they've had to cut it. It really depends on the size of your, vajayjay.
Yeah.
So, yun nga, I also
Okay.
find that it's in right when it doesn't leak nga. Like, or
Right.
when
At
after I pee,
all.
I wipe. It's interesting. Ang galing nga eh. No? When I finally realized I had it in right, yung nag-wipe ako after peeing, it's like, huh? No blood. Ang galing. So, yun. So, okay, it's on right. Okay, very good, very good. So
That's
it's
so
just really
cool.
trial
Okay.
and error.
Yeah.
Really just try months and months of trial and error, trying to get the right fold and how to put it in. It's really hard to explain just like this, maybe to whoever's listening through a podcast, but really it's so much trial and error. You're gonna go through so many bloopers, but that's okay. We all
Yeah.
go through
It's a
that.
journey.
It's a journey
It's the
talaga, but
journey.
yeah, even I get it wrong sometimes until now. 3 years going into it, may times na
Mm-mm.
nagli-leak pa rin siya or maybe I don't just have it in right, but at least you know enough to know how to fix it na. You're not as panicky as when you first started. You're over all the
Yeah.
mental stuff na kasi after a few months. Hindi na siya as daunting.
Hopefully. But I guess if you're feeling like if it's a heavier day or if you're not if it's your first time and you're going out, 'di ba?
Mm-hmm.
Siguro wear a panty liner first, 'di ba?
Yeah.
If you're doubting it a little bit. And then
Yeah,
once
that's a
nahanap
good
mo na
tip.
nga yung groove mo, 'di ba?
Mm-hmm.
You'll be more comfortable wearing nothing at all except it. Okay,
Yes.
eto na. This is
Yeah,
now the
panty
big
liner.
question. Yes, panty liner. The big question. Is it going to look like a murder scene when I take it out?
Yes. There's no other way to say it. Yes. It will definitely. Actually, unless you've gotten it down pat, when you finally learned how to take it out gracefully without like having to splash anything out. And when this moment happens, you're going to be so proud of yourself because when I did it for the first time, I was so proud of myself. No spills, took it out, and it's just there, all there, no drop. So that time will come and you'll be so proud of yourself. But at some point, there might be some problems taking it out because, of course, you feel uncomfortable. This is new. So when it
Mm-hmm.
finally ploops out, some blood will most definitely spill, especially if it's your first time. So yes, it will look like a murder scene because it's all there in one cup. And if it spills, ayan na talaga. So kaya nung mga first time ko, I always took it out in the shower.
Okay.
So I made sure na
Okay.
just so I don't make a mess, pwede naman sa toilet. But me, praning kasi ako, ayoko naman before noon sa toilet. Like, what if mahulog siya sa toilet? So
Oh.
I took it out in the shower and nung mga first time, every time talaga, paglabas niya, pluk! Splush! It's like, wow, oh my God, who got killed here? Ganun talaga yung
Oh no.
itsura niya. Kasi hindi ka pa sanay eh. Kasi
Ma'am,
diba,
siya ko
when
never
you're
siya nag murder scene.
talaga, good for you,
I think
third day mo pa lang.
kasi takot na takot akong, kasi first time nga I took it out, I pulled it out. So, ang sakit nung
Mm-mm.
suction talaga. Ginano niya,
Mm.
putang ina. So, the rest of the times na tinatanggal ko siya, I really put my fingers in, I pinch it,
Mhm.
diba, yung tinuro mo nga na ere, I pinch it, I
Yeah.
turn it, and then, talagang hanggang almost mahawakan ko na yung buong cup, tsaka ko siya
Oh, wow.
ilalabas. Pero
Oh, wow.
naka-pinch.
Uh-huh.
So, buti, I mean, I guess siguro hindi pa kasi I haven't worn it long enough for it to reach a certain point that it might spill. So, hindi pa
Mhm.
ganun karami yung laman niya. So, thankfully,
Mm.
hindi pa siya, like, ano pa, pinagaganon ko pa siya. Like,
Ay,
gently
day. Kung,
pouring it out.
kung umabot siya ng 8 to 10 hours na, my gosh, get ready. But
Ay,
again,
yan na.
it depends on how much blood you have. Usually naman pag
Okay.
mga second day or something madami talaga. Of course, usual period, second day. But for me kasi before, since I also had that mindset na medyo praning din akong to touch myself in that way and really, really put my fingers in. Parang ganun nga talaga. Parang yung pagpasok ko ng ganun, when I get to pinch it a little bit from the base and try to wiggle it out gently,
Mm-mm.
alam mo yung parang maybe it's me not being comfortable with myself pa at the time. Pero yung parang paglabas mo, parang ganun yung feeling mo. Get it out of me! Parang ganun yung feeling no first
Yeah,
times.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Yes,
having
okay.
having that apprehension and I guess at that time disgust. Ngayon, sanay na ako. I accept it and I accept that I have to touch myself in that way. So, paglabas na niya nung dati, parang may ganong fear. So parang siguro may nginig or takot ka that it will end up spilling at some point, and that's okay.
Right.
If you just want to clean it up easier, just do it in the shower like I did for the first couple of months. And then
Great
eventually
advice.
you learn how to remove it more gracefully without having to be afraid. So parang when
Yeah.
it's out, bloop, yay, okay. Sige.
Yay!
Drain it, flush it, or like whatever. So okay na. I think it's
Okay.
also a mindset thing for me before na parang kaya siya nagiging
So,
murder
yeah.
scene.
Kasi nga, once na, di ba, yung thought of, yan na, di ba?
Yeah,
Hawakan mo na siya.
ganon.
Okay, get. So, psyche talaga. But also, clean your hands. Very,
Yes,
very
yes,
important to
given.
clean your hands.
It's a
Please.
given, moms. Very much
Kasi
a
minsan
given.
kasi, di ba, parang, oh my gosh.
Kasi
Ilang madudumi na bang
ipapasok mo.
daliri ah.
Ipapasok mo kasi, so make sure na malinis.
Oo naman
Hygiene.
siguro sana, di ba?
Oo, diba?
Okay.
Sana given
So
na po yun. Pero kung hindi pa clear, wash your hands beforehand.
yes, wash your hands. Thoroughly. Hindi yung
Yes,
rinse
please.
lang.
No,
But
20
yeah,
seconds
so,
with soap. Think of it as like, how you're being told these days to stay safe from coronavirus. You also do that for your panini.
of course naman. Hello. But yeah, so that's a great tip if you're a first timer and if you're uncomfortable, definitely you're going to be uncomfortable with it pa. So do it in the shower. Doing it in the
Yeah.
shower is a great tip. Okay.
So at least if you make a mess, you can just like wash it off quickly.
Not just a
afterwards.
mess. If you're,
Yeah.
yung bigla kang magulat, especially if it's your first time, you never know how you're gonna react to it, diba? Baka bigla mong mabitawan eh. So, malaglag sa toilet. So, okay nga yung shower. Also, another thing that I've noticed and I really love about it is, and I saw these questions also online when I was researching. Did you know that blood only starts to smell like rust when it's exposed to air?
Exactly. So that's one thing I love about having the menstrual cup also.
Yeah.
Because if you're used to having a pad and you have to go to the bathroom and then you have to pee and then of course you're in a pad. So parang it just has a very unpleasant smell. And I'm sure whenever you throw away your pads or your tampons and when you have to open your trash can, it's very unpleasant, really. So you never get that with the menstrual cup because it's all still inside of you. So hindi siya lumalabas, and in a way it's more hygienic than compared to a pad that goes onto your panty and you have to wear it for
and that scrapes
X
the
amount
outer
of
part of your
hours.
vagina.
Yes, exactly. It's so uncomfortable. A lot of women are also allergic to pads. So parang ang hirap talaga. Kailangan natin ng mas maraming options. So thank God for the menstrual cup. Plus,
Exactly.
besides the smell, when you also have a menstrual cup on, you know how you get that feeling na kunyari nakapad ka tapos nararamdaman mo siyang lumabas, yung ganon. I'm sure you women
Pag-glob.
are yeah, like when you laugh, when you cough, when you do some certain random movement, kahit tatayo ka lang sa chair mo, mafe-feel mo, 'di ba? Yung
Oh
yung
my
parang
God, naalala ko favorite line ni Hazel yan before. Pag yung tawang, di ba? Yung pag, laugh out loud. Tapos, oh my God, naramdaman ko yung period ko lumabas.
oo, ganon.
Yeah.
Nakakatawa. As in, me and my friend, we call it sudden gush. Kasi nag-gush out talaga siya out of you. But you don't
Yeah.
get that feeling with the menstrual cup, which is why some women actually forget that they have their periods when they have the menstrual cup on. Because first, it's in right. And syempre, kasi hinuhuli na niya yung blood before it even comes out. So you don't feel that
Right. Yeah.
anymore. So at
That's gonna
least,
be my
mas
audiogramma.
kasi ganun talaga
Uh,
siya. It's really hard to explain. Pero alam niyo na yun, girls, di ba? Okay, enough. Pero ganun
okay,
talaga yung
okay,
feeling,
okay.
promise. Wala nun with the menstrual cup. No smell, none of that uncomfortable feeling. And as little as it is in your life, parang minsan, it will give you anxiety, diba? Kung nafe-feel mo. Kasi natatakot ka,
Yeah.
baka mapuno yung pad ko or something.
Uh-uh.
You don't have
And
that
no more
anxiety when you feel it.
tagos.
Yes.
No more
Although,
tagos. And
unless
it's the
mapuno
sleeping
siya.
with... So mahalagang
Unless
malaman
mapuno
yung
siya.
time that you keep it in or
Mm-mm.
and also if it's a heavy day, 'di ba?
Yes, it's
But
very
what's the longest
important.
time you kept it in?
12 na yung max just because I was out the whole day. But as soon as siguro I get home from a long day, ayoko pa abutin ng sobrang tagal kasi ayoko siyang mapuno, and of course, it's still a foreign object. As safe
Yeah.
as it is inside you pa rin naman. Parang gusto mo din
Okay.
naman siyang linisin, ayaw mo siyang mapuno. Kasi na-experience ko na rin yung napuno siya. At hindi siya
Oh.
masaya.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So gauge mo rin, no? Even if they claim
Mm-mm.
that you can keep it in for 12 hours, it'll all really still depend on how heavy your flow is going to be on that
Yes.
day and how, how long you've had it inside. But so
Mm-hmm.
this is also a question I asked you yesterday. How often do you um so 12 hours, but how often on a regular basis do you take it out and put it back in, wash it? Do you every time you take it out, do you just pour it out, rinse it with water, or do you have to wash it all the time, or do you sterilize it every each time you take it out and put it back in? Like, what's the process like?
The process is more like the sterilizing is only when before you use it and after you use it. So after you take it out from storage, you sterilize it, you use it, and then sterilize it again when you're gonna put it away na. But for me, I guess I change it twice a day. Okay na siya.
Okay.
Because it
Twice a day.
depends
All
on
right.
how your day goes as well. So maybe, let's say I get it in the morning. I try to change it whenever I shower, even if it's not at a certain number of hours yet, just so I feel completely clean after I shower.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
then, ganun yung nagiging pattern ko. So when I wake up and then I have to do stuff, and then when I have to shower, that's when I change it again. And aabot na naman siya by the time na gabi na before I sleep. And I have to wash up and prepare everything. And then I just clean it. What I do is in between, when you take it out, you would just, dispose of the blood. Maybe you can flush it
Mm-hmm.
down. Maybe you can, ayoko naman sa sink, but that's me personally. But okay, kung okay lang
Yeah,
sa'yo yun.
yeah.
But, I wash it with water. I also have this menstrual cup wash, which some sellers of menstrual cups have it. They sell it separately. But in general, I think it's okay as long as it's a mild, unscented soap. You
Okay.
can. Some people just
Mm-hmm.
rinse it before they put it back in. But I like to use the wash just to be 100%, safer or just more
Yeah, yeah.
sanitized. Para alam ko lang. So
Oh.
that's when I put it back in after I wash it with that mild soap.
So where do you store it afterwards? Like in between periods? Saan siya nakalagay?
It's just in my bathroom. For me, kasi since I have this sterilizer, it's just inside.
Okay.
So when I'm about to put it away, I sterilize it, and then when it's done, I just keep it in there and store it until I have to use it again. Para hindi ko na siya ilalabas, hindi ko na siya exposed to anything else because it's just there
Right.
inside the sterilizer. But if you don't have it and you have to boil it pa, some sellers of menstrual cups have their own little sterilizer cups with them. It's like silicone also, and it's
Mm-hmm.
also a way of boiling it because you can put it inside. It's also a silicone cup that you can put in the microwave.
Oh,
So that's how some
cool.
sterilize it also. So hindi
Okay.
mo na kailangan ng pot talaga. Some people just put it
Pakulo ng
in that
tubig.
storage. Oo. Some people put it in that storage and heat it in the microwave and it's sterile na. So
Ah,
marami din namang
interesting.
options of
Okay.
storing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess also just like in terms of finding also the brand or the size and the
Mm-mm.
fit that would be perfect for you. I guess it's also a journey, no? You might if you get it right
Mm-hmm.
the first time, then lucky you. But
Yeah.
there's a big chance you might not, diba? But there are a
Mm-hmm.
lot of other options, luckily here in the Philippines that you can find online. Diba? We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe hindi naman tayo nagbebenta. Again, wala kaming commission or anything. Gusto lang namin makapag-share ng experience sa inyo. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
post a couple links diba, if you guys
Mm-hmm.
want to start exploring there first. So just in case this changed your mind completely and you really want to start it, then the links will be
Mm-hmm.
available, easily available for you. Okay, so can you work out and run and even ride a bike with it inside comfortably and safely?
Yes, that's another great thing about it. It's like since you can't feel it really, you feel so comfortable doing the things that you can't with a regular pad. Because you, especially ganun din yung feeling yung feeling pa lang ng may lumalabas na ganon and then it's
Yeah.
going to your pad. It makes you so uncomfortable to do your squats, to do any strenuous activities. So it's just given that amount of comfort for you to just do whatever you want throughout your day and less fear of that dreaded tagos from doing
Yeah.
all your like weird stretches or strenuous exercises and swimming. My goodness, swimming, going to the
I cannot
beach.
wait to swim with this. My God. I
Yes.
cannot. Grabe ang
As in,
experience ng swimming
ang
with a
saya.
tampon. It was so gross. It was so gross. Have you ever tried it? It's
I
gross.
failed at it. I tried to put it in. Alam mo yung parang we went to the beach and then it was our last day and oh my God, ang tagal ko sa banyo. Nasa van na silang lahat. Papunta na kaming beach pero nasa banyo pa rin ako. Nagtatry maglagay ng tampon. But then I didn't have it in right. So parang, or nafe-feel ko din habang
Masakit siya.
nagsiswimming kami. Oo, masakit siya.
Yeah.
Tapos parang nafe-feel ko yung string na medyo weird. So, no, that was not pleasant. So at least with a menstrual cup, it's all in there. And, you can just like swim. Go on your merry way. Wala siyang
How
tagos. And
exciting.
when you pee, it doesn't
So
fall out.
fun. It doesn't nga, no? And eto, I
Yeah.
asked you this question yesterday. I'm gonna ask it now so we can talk about it because I experienced it today. A little bit TMI, but okay. Can you poop while using it?
Yes. You totally could. Since it's supposed to be all inside you. So kahit umiire ka, you still need that extra help anyway to get it out of you completely. So it won't plop out when you're pooping.
It
So
won't
and
plop
since
out, but it might move a little bit lang because the
it will.
ere motion nga helps, diba, take it out there. But
Yeah.
so just again, maybe support it siguro, or if you're feeling uncomfortable, once it goes down and after you do the number two, kung gusto mo ilabas mo, linisin, pasok mo ulit. Para,
Yeah.
para
Yeah.
one big wash na lang siya. But
Yes.
it won't just, what MJ was saying is it won't just pop out while you're
Yeah,
while
it
you're pooping.
won't. Yeah, you might feel it move a little bit, but since a lot of us have a hard time taking it out anyway, so that pooping motion isn't gonna really uh you know cause any
Pop it
accidents.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and especially since yung shape pa naman yan, if it's in right, parang nakasuction pa naman siya eh. So as long as you don't
Mm-mm.
break the vacuum of that suction, it'll be fine, girl. It won't pop out.
And the way it looks like kasi is, ano, diba? There are little holes on the side,
Mm-hmm.
which is what
Yeah, yeah,
creates the
yeah.
suction, right?
Yes.
And why it's thick also on the mouth. That's also the reason why
Yeah.
it's thick on the mouth, so it doesn't easily fall off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Can you
don't worry.
change in a public bathroom? What if you were traveling, you were on the road for a long time, in a plane, or have you ever done it? And what was the experience like?
I have. I don't like the experience because I am
Okay.
iffy with public bathrooms in general, but it's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
But once you're experienced with it already and you can put it in and take it out without any accidents or spillage, it's fine. You can totally do it within the privacy of a cubicle. What some of my friends have taught me was that kung walang bidet, you bring a bottle of water with you inside.
Mm-mm.
And then, dun mo nahuhugasan. When you take it out, you dump the blood in the toilet and then clean it with that bottled water. You rinse it, and then you can
Mm-mm.
put it back in. Or you can even bring the wash with you in there. Basta may container ka ng water to wash it with you. Kasi ayaw mo naman siyang dalin sa labas at linisin dun sa sink with more people to see, right? So it might make
Right.
them uncomfortable. So you can just bring your own water inside the cubicle and wash it there and you'll be fine.
Ay, ano yan, girl? Menstrual cup. Tapos nagtutoothbrush yung
Oh.
katabi mo. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Um,
Sarap. Yung
I guess
toothpaste ko,
nasa
medyo...
sayo nga yun, di ba? Depende kung
Mm-mm.
ano yung, if you're like si MJ nga, as iffy with public bathrooms, I guess because it stays inside, I mean, you can keep it inside for longer naman, comfortably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I-timing mo na lang, di ba? If you're gonna be out, or if you're gonna be
Yeah.
traveling, I'm sure.
What
Mm,
what I do is I change it before I leave the house, just so I'm sure I don't have to take it out somewhere else. So parang ita-timing ko siya. Okay, I'll be going out of the house for like how many hours? Sige, I'll refresh my menstrual cup before I leave the house. So I have this amount of hours. So kailangan mo binibilang mo talaga yung hours and depending on your flow. So if you do want to avoid public restrooms and changing elsewhere, then okay, just time it. And that's the great thing about menstrual cups now, or if you've been considering trying it now, you're stuck at home. You don't have to be out a lot anyway. So now is the time to try. So you don't have to
yep.
go to work. You don't have to change at work. You can get used to it while you're in the comforts of your own home now. So I guess if you are curious about it, try nyo na ngayon
Now is the
habang stuck ka
perfect
sa bahay.
time.
Yes,
True.
exactly.
Now is the perfect time to try it, exactly. Okay. Um, yeah. So if you okay, let's just say if you only had, I'll give you a situation. If you only had 1 minute to convince someone to make this switch, and you absolutely
Ooh.
had to convince them, what would you
Oh,
say?
that is hard. Because it takes so much explaining to
I
just tell
know.
them what a menstrual cup is and how, girl, ang hirap.
Naisip na.
Ang hirap ng one
Naisip
minute
siya.
lang. Kasi ayaw mo naman magbigay ng expectations na oo, life-changing siya, pero you have to walk through the person, having to go through all these processes.
Ang dali.
Okay. I'll try how it went when I was talking to you about it.
Okay.
Remember when we
Okay.
were talking about it? It's like,
I mean, it worked.
girl,
You pretty much
yeah,
you convinced
I
me,
guess.
right?
It wasn't just 1 minute, but let's try. Girl, ang saya ng menstrual cup. I don't feel my period. I don't feel like I have it. Really, as in, sometimes I forget that I have my period. Girl, pwede tayong mag-beach, pwede kang mag-swimming, walang problema, hindi siya mabaho, it doesn't smell like your usual pad, and think about how much you're saving the turtles in the ocean with less waste. Think about the turtles. Think about the baby whales. Think about
Okay.
how much less waste and hindi ka na pupuntang grocery every month para bumili ng napkins. Napakasaya. All you need, water, steam. My gosh, life-changing siya. Pwede ka tumambling-tumbling na wala kang problema. Hindi mo ma-feel si... Yeah.
Sold. Okay.
I
Sold.
tried. If that was
You
1 minute, I don't know.
I feel like enough na yon. I feel like the simpler the better. I guess this is why you have the internet and you have,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure other podcasters have talked about it na rin as well, diba? But if
I
you're
tried to
chanting
make up
upon
for
this,
it. I tried to make up
True.
for it with my enthusiasm. Dinaan ko na lang
No,
doon.
but I guess yun nga eh, kasi it can get daunting because most women overthink it, and there's just even
Mm-hmm.
women who have probably researched it sometimes don't even want to try it after researching it because there's just so
Mm-hmm.
much nga. I
Yeah.
mean, we're almost what, an hour and a half
We
into
are?
this. I didn't expect us to reach this long talking about a menstrual cup, but
Oh my goodness.
there's so much to talk about, diba? And there's so many
Mm-hmm.
things you need to know about it. But I guess what's really important to know is that it's going to be a psychological journey, but it's going to be a really wonderful
Yes.
journey. That you at least try it. Diba? If it's not for
Mm-hmm.
you, then it's not for you. But highly,
Yeah.
highly unlikely na hindi mo siya magugustuhan. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's your own, it's each and every person's different journey. And to be honest, pati ako, like at some point nung start, I wanted to give up on it because I couldn't get it right. It was so hard. It was so mentally taxing to put it in and take it out. But just think of the benefits. If not yourself, it benefits
the
people
environment.
are the environment, yeah. And some menstrual cup companies also are very big on women's reproductive health education also. Just knowing that you have this option is very important. Just know your options because sometimes pads are not for everyone, sometimes tampons are not for everyone, sometimes menstrual cups aren't even for everyone, but it's important for you to explore which one is the best for you because this monthly tita flow isn't easy. It really
It's
isn't. So
not. It's
it's just
not.
all about finding what's best for you and how you can make your life less miserable every
Less
single
bloody.
month. Yes.
Yes. If diba? I mean, if we but thank you for saying that. It's isn't it amazing to have this option right now, diba?
Mm-hmm.
Having this option right now is definitely something to be grateful for. Yung mga sinaunang panahon, wala silang ganito, diba? Lampin nga,
Wala.
tuwalya, diba?
Yeah.
But in this day and age, we have the option, so might as well try it if it's going to make your life a lot
Mm-hmm.
easier and better.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of the monthly tita flow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, well, thank you for that. I learned, my gosh, I learned still so much from you, and I feel like I'm still gonna be learning more, diba,
Yeah,
as
we're
I
all still
use
gonna
it.
be learning. Me too. Even how many years in, there's still so much to discover about using this cup and myself. My own vagina.
Yeah, but it's fun though, isn't it?
It is. And I think all the mentally daunting things that you've had to overcome at the start, it's just worth it when you're just going through your day and not having to care about getting a tagos or smelling weird because your period you're with a pad or like all those things you worry about. It just like takes away a lot of
Yeah.
anxiety and second guessing, so it's
Sorry,
worth
share ko lang yung mga experience ko with Pau kasi di ba, with
it.
my husband, yung mga period experiences, like, okay, isa rin na great thing about it is because you use it overnight, right? So you have like
Mm-hmm.
no tagos overnight. Kahit anong balabalentong mo ng tulog mo. And di ba, so for people who sleep with someone or beside someone, right? Ayaw
Uh-huh.
mo namang gumising na may tagos. Yung
Oh my
kamats, katabi mo
goodness,
yung
oo nga.
jowa mo, kapatid mo, di ba? Or asawa mo. Also,
Yeah.
like, one time I remember last year, nagjo-joke-jokean kami, ha ha ha. Tapos, alam mo yung jokingly hinampas ni Pao yung, like, my butt, right? So, like, ha ha.
Mm-mm.
Tapos, narinig mo yung tunog ng napkin na makapal. Kasi naka-overnight napkin ako. Siya yung
Oh!
laugh kami, ha ha ha, pak. Ew! What was that?
Girl, na-experience ko na rin. Alam mo yung nakakahiya? Natagusan ko yung bed ng groupmate ko sa school.
Oh my God!
Sobrang worst, most embarrassing experience ever. Regarding my period, ha. As in, oh my God, hindi pa
No.
nga puno at that point yung yung napkin ko. I think it was just the way I was sitting. Medyo because
Yeah.
it wasn't really lodged right in. Oh my God, nakakahiya. My friend had to like change his sheets. Oh my gosh. It was the worst. So, thankfully, Yeah, my menstrual cup. And if you're still not comfortable, like what Kara said, I also did that before. When you're not confident on how you were able to put the cup in, there's always like, a thin pad that can just help you with it. Para hindi siya super tumagos.
Yeah, if it makes you feel better. Diba?
Mm-hmm.
At least in
Yeah.
the beginning. But my
Mm-hmm.
gosh, it's so exciting to learn more things about it. I'm actually weird but funny. Like, I'm looking forward to like taking it out, putting it in again, and getting better at it eventually. Oh my
Yes,
god, just
because
woo!
nailing that is one of the best feelings ever. Siguro pagdating ng like after a few months nung talagang napasok ko siya with ease, natanggal ko siya with ease, walang natapon, nalinis ko siya. When I was able to incorporate it into my daily routine na, the best.
It's so
Life
empowering.
changing.
Girl,
Yes,
yung
it is
paglabas ko kanina,
exactly
alam mo yung
empowering.
sikat na TikTok? Yung intro ng song ni Ariana. Dan, 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 dan. Tapos, nagpapalakpakan yung mga tao. Yun yung feeling ko talaga kanina paglabas ko sa
Yeah,
banyo.
I did it.
I did
Yes.
it.
And
Without
you should be
hurting my
proud of
vagina.
yourself. Yes, you should be proud of yourself for just even overcoming that mental hurdle of being able to use a You know how when you go through a really difficult thing in your life, tapos nasa past na siya. Of course, when you're in the moment, it's really daunting. But when it's in the past and you were able to achieve what you needed to, parang, I
Ang
got
sarap.
out of it alive. I'm
Yes.
so proud of
Alive.
myself.
I'm so
I got
proud
out
of
of it
myself.
fine. I am an expert now. Yes, let's go through life. Tita Flo, you don't intimidate me anymore.
Oh, yes. Best friends na kayo bigla ni Tita Flo. Oh, you're here? Okay, let me use my cup. Andiyan ka
Well,
na
I
pala
still
ulit.
don't like her, but she's still
Well,
pretty annoying and comes at inopportune times. But you know what? It's like I can handle you now. I don't,
exactly. Yeah.
I know how to
You can
handle
handle her
you, and
better
that's
now.
okay. Yes.
Yeah. Well, there you go. But thank you again. Thank you, NJ, for taking the time, for sharing so much information, and for
Oh
sharing your
my
energy with
gosh.
us today. Oh my God. Feeling ko, when I feel uncomfortable and you're busy or something, or ayoko kitang istorbohin, I'll just keep coming back to this episode.
No, anytime. Talk to me about this anytime because like it just feels really good to be able to share to make it easier for somebody else. Alam mo yun, just like
Yeah.
talking to your girlfriends about it and it's like somebody's holding your hand through this like scary or difficult experience. So, kaya nga 'di ba? I was convinced because my friend was a user and that she was able to help me through
Convert
it.
you.
So, parang ganun
Yeah.
lang din. It's like all of us women helping each other out through our periods.
Through our periods, yes. I love it.
Yes.
Empowering each other through our
Mhm.
periods that sometimes makes us feel weak physically, literally, because of what
Uh
it literally does to your body. But then, diba, it's also empowering. You're a woman,
yeah.
and this is something that you go through with other
Mhm.
women as well.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Thank you again, MJ, for doing this.
Thank
Before I ask
you.
all the guests to do this before the end of every episode is to share whatever it is that they're grateful for today in this moment. So can you please share with us what you're grateful for?
I am grateful for actually in this moment literally I'm grateful not just because we're talking about it in the episode but I'm grateful for that this cup I am using right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because yes,
Mm-hmm.
like we've already said, we are on our periods now, and so it's just talking about this has made me grateful about how much less I had to worry about my day when I was wearing it. So thankfully, and I'm also grateful for this opportunity to just like have a girl talk with you. Because of course we're friends and it just
Yeah.
feels like we're talking about our periods maybe just with other people listening. So I am also grateful for this way to make other girls feel like if they want to try this out that they're not alone and if ever they go through any difficulties or bloopers, we've gone through that. You can just talk to Kara, listen to this episode, and just feel that you're not alone. And
You are
your
now.
period might be a bitch, but you're a better bitch. You can handle it.
Audiogram. There it is. Your period might be a bitch, but you're a better bitch.
Yes.
I love it. And we hope to, if you chanced upon this episode, I hope it helped you, in some way, at least mapaisip ka man lang if you want to convert
Mm-hmm.
it, if you're someone who's just trying it. Also, you're medyo bago ka rin. I hope this comforts you in a way, and we hope to create a safe space, for us women to talk about these things. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
32 and I'm just finding out about this now. Imagine if
Mm-hmm.
I had how easy my life would have been if I've switched sooner. But
Yep.
sana madaanan nyo tong episode na to at
Mm-hmm.
ma-realize nyo how easier, our periods would be with this also. And I hope you find comfort in this conversation. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to get in touch with us.
Mm-hmm.
MJ, where can they follow you, listen to you, watch you?
You can check out my socials. I'm on Instagram at MJFozzie at MJFOZEE. Same handle for Twitter. And interestingly enough, I've talked to a bunch of people also on Twitter about menstrual cups. So just feel free to like at me or like send me a message. And safe space, completely no judgment. We're all women. We all have periods. We all have vaginas. So if it's something
Mhm.
that you're a little ashamed to ask about menstrual cups. Again, not an expert, but I will give you personal experience to
Yep.
maybe talk you through it. And, well, just let me know. Or like, kulang na lang kami sa amin ni Kara mag-send ng play-by-play video. Yung video call. Paano ba
How
to?
to?
How to? Video tutorial. But no, it's not. It's a normal experience. Don't be afraid to ask other women who've used menstrual cups. So just feel free. Even me, go ahead at MJ Fozzie, Twitter, Instagram. And yeah, where else can they find me? I am on. Well, I used to be Kara's workmate at Monster, so you can listen to me at Monster RX 93.1 on the Wild and Wicked Snack. Usually at night. Right now, at night, around 8 p.m. onwards till midnight.
Mhm.
And you know what? I'm also so grateful for this podcast platform because I also have a podcast. It's called Subauteurs. It's a movie review podcast with two of my guy friends. Pero hindi ako nakakapagsalita ng ganito with them. Alam mo,
Bakit?
yung ang saya mag-podcast na girl talk naman. Like, kasi
Okay, okay,
lalaki
okay.
sila, hindi nila magigets yung mga sinasabi natin right now. So, I'm so
Ah.
grateful to be able to talk about these girly things naman now.
Yay! Thank you. I'm
Thank
so
you.
grateful for you. Thank you for being a
Grateful for
friend.
you too.
Thank you for giving us your time and again your
Mm-hmm.
knowledge and experience in this. So thank you very much. I hope I really had fun. I love it.
Me
Parang
too.
major chikahan lang talaga. And
Super.
I hope we get to do this again soon.
Yeah, sure. Oh my gosh, ang dami pang bloopers na pwedeng ikwento about menstrual cup. So like, we may not have tackled that today, but if you go through bloopers while putting in or out that menstrual cup, don't worry. We've all been there.
Let's have a follow-up podcast. I'll try to like when this is out, I'll post like a question on Instagram stories, like a poll or something. Like you guys can
Oh,
ask all your questions
sure.
and then we'll try to answer the if they have other
Sige.
questions pa na hindi natin nasagot on this episode. That
Game.
should be fun. That should be fun.
Yeah. That should
Yay.
be
All right.
fun. Thank
Thank you very much
you.
again,
Thank you for having
everybody.
me.
MJ Foz, over here. Check her out on her socials and also her show on Monster RX 93.1 and also their podcast, Sabatours. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy period.